Hello, and thank you for joining me on today's video blog. I'm Steven Pilkington with the Path Home team, and today we're going to discuss the importance of annual business planning, something that we like to call our annual advance. What does it look like to do an annual business plan? Now, I've been a coach for years, and I've also had a coach for over a decade, knowing that I've got big goals, and I want to, just like Steve Jobs said, I want to make a dent in the universe in the form of real estate. If you're going to take a big trip, if you're going to accomplish something great, are you going to just hope you get there? Or are you going to create a plan that's step by step by step by step in order to get there? So now is the time. And by time this video is coming out, it's going to be probably middle of October. Now is the time, even though it sounds early, that it's important to start planning for 2024. If you think about it this way, this video is going to drop, I think, middle of October. You essentially have 6 weeks of business left that could impact your 2023, your Q4. Otherwise, every activity you do is going to be impacting January, February, March. And let's be frank, in the Denver metro area, January is typically the lowest and slowest month for most brokers. So the activities you do today are going to impact what happens to you in that Q1. So what does it look like in order to plan for your next year? We use a tool we call a G.P.S. And one of my coaches said, Pilk, if you were going to drive from here to Central America, you're going to go to the Panama Canal. How long would you be comfortable turning your GPS off and putting the maps in the glove box and just driving? And I was just like, I'm not sure, Craig, like maybe an hour or two, like maybe a day. He's like, okay, even in a day, how far could you get off track? Well, that's a good question. Like my wife was driving to Mount Rushmore and they lost their GPS for like 2 hours and got like 40 miles off track. And so it can happen really, really quickly. So for us, the GPS is, number one is what is your big goal? That's the G. And number two, you're going to have 3 primary tasks, your priorities. And then the S is what are the 5 strategies under each one of those priorities in order to hit your goal. So if you've got a big goal next year, let's say that big goal is that you're going to make $250,000 of net income. Now's the time to think about, well, first of all, what are my sources of business going to be? Where did I get my business this year and in previous years? So where can I focus my energy? Oftentimes, if you're like me, you've chased that shiny object, there's that squirrel that you go after. You're like, ooh, new lead source, I'm gonna jump after that. And then I look after all the results and I'm like, wow, I spent thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on something. And the reality is that the number one source of business for us year after year is 50 to 70% of our past client in our sphere. What are we doing to grow that? So that could be your goal. If I want to make that 250,000, how many deals do I need to get from Sphere? How many deals do I need to get from open houses? How many deals do I need to get from prospecting and from leads? Reverse engineer so that you can actually get the goals that you want. The next piece of that is getting granular on it. Oftentimes we set these goals and we make it a little bit nebulous. We're like, I want to get to this big number and I'm just going to work really hard. And if I'm off track, I'm going to work harder. And you don't create a plan. One of the things that we'll do is we'll call the 15th protocol, which is the 15th of the month. If we're not on track to hit our goal for the month, we have a plan that we're going to kick into place, which is we came up with that plan by looking at our results and then looking at what do we need to do to pivot. So when the time comes, you don't have to use your brain power. Every day we have a certain amount of decision-making ability, which is why Steve Jobs and so many at Zuckerberg, they all wear the same thing every day, is so they can limit the number of decisions, so they can spend that energy on what's important. So when you want to succeed at the highest level, spend a significant amount of time. Carve off a half of a day, carve off a full day. Get to a place where ideally you don't have great cell service. You're telling people that you're on vacation, you're telling people that you're unavailable, and that you're going to sit down with your peers, with your partners, and you're going to figure out what it looks like. Every year that we've hit or exceeded our goals, it's because we've spent a significant amount of time planning for the goals. And this is one of the biggest important parts. We didn't just make a great goal and then file it away into the drawer. We literally put that goal up on the wall in front of the desk, put it on our phone. So every morning it pops up and it reminds me of what the goal is. There's a big Harvard business study about it, and I challenge you to go find it. The moral of the story with it is that the people who write down their goals and have some accountability on average are earning 10 times that of their peers. And this was a study that was done just off of Harvard MBAs. People who are all incredibly brilliant, even those folks need to have goals in place. So when we're talking about doing our 2024 advance, this is what it means. And we have a very robust packet we work with. And by the way, if you're not really sure what to do with this, if you're not sure how to take the next step, please reach out to me and let me know. I would be happy to send you a copy of our planning packet, or if you'd like to partake in one of our planning events, of course, we'd love to invite you. We all believe in abundance here, and we love to help more agents succeed and grow. So I hope you've gotten a little bit of value out of today's video blog about planning for 2024. Now I challenge you, at the end of this little video here, get on your calendar, schedule that day. Right now, our day is November 1st that we're going to be go ahead and doing these plannings. Schedule your day, block that time off. You will thank me later for doing it. Until the next time, have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video blog.